You guys, I've changed a setting on my iPhone, and I'm going to see if this makes a better recording. If it does, I'm just gobsmacked that I was not aware of how to do this before. So this is a reading for Taurus time. I never really did that before. I skipped it for some reason, and while this isn't specifically only for Taurus viewers, it might resonate especially with them, and it certainly resonates for this season for all of us. Let's see what we get. And it might be just like something in your life that is louder. You know, something that was quiet that's now loud and clear. A message or clarity about a circumstance, or, you know, you've been saying the same thing to somebody for years and suddenly they hear you. It's nighttime, I'm in my wrapper. Sometimes the nighttime or early morning readings are really good. Let's see. Well, it's a change anyway. Scorpio, death card. You know, speaks to the end of an old era and the beginning of something new. It's water energy, so it speaks to a change in emotion, the way you feel about something, in some kind of significant relationship, maybe. Tell us more. Major Arcana card. So it's a heavy-hitting energy that informs 3D life, but, you know, it sort of works its way up from the psyche into 3D. What was blocked before in sword energy? You know, swords are about perception, speech, truth. And these I often see as like the antennae. Old-fashioned radios, TVs had antennae where you could tune in the sound. Sound may have been blocked, and now that's changing. You know, the volume of something, actually. And it's something emotional. It may be like your heart is almost something you can't ignore now. It's sending a message. What is it? Sending out a message. SOS. Can't remember the song. Yeah. Ace of Cups. That same, sorry, the lighting is weird too. That can be a change in the way you feel. You know, the Ace card, the personal. That a change was blocked somehow. And now your heart is talking to you, and it's saying something loudly enough so that it's undeniable. You know, you can't tune it out anymore. Two of Swords, Ace of Cups, death card. Tell us more, please, about the transformation. Okay. Five of Pentacles, Tower. Popped right out. That's another card of the Tower, card of Scorpio, as I see it. Just dramatic emotional change. Kaboomy, things get louder. And it might be... Okay, another one just fell out. We have now 3 out. 3 more. This can be a card of feeling lack. Being out in the cold, somehow left out. Maybe unloved. Nobody's investing their time or their attention, or... You know, it's a card of sadness. And 3D deprivation, it can be a feeling badly about yourself or feeling devalued in some relationship. Dramatic change. I mean, death card is change, but this is sudden and loud. You know, kaboom, the lightning strikes. And that tower comes down. Something we thought was stable. And it has this kind of reverberation, and it might be even like, because you can't live here in the tower. You know, there's been some emotional shift that, I mean, it either shifts you into or out of this position of lack. Maybe a big change in fortune. You know, pentacles can speak to money. But I think it's on the emotional level. 2 cards of Scorpio and the Ace of Cups, all water energy. This is a kind of disconnect. You know, being turned out or turned away, something like that. 10 of Cups. Well, that's a sudden change from like being out in the cold to in like Flynn, to all in, to full spectrum love, from the Ace to the 10, you know. That's a change we could invite into our lives, but it might be so shocking too. Almost like something that, you know, if you go from the sea depths up to the surface too fast and you get the bends, you have to go up slowly, slowly. Well, this isn't slowly, slowly. This is sudden in water energy. A change in water pressure, a change in your surroundings, your physical surroundings. It can be unsettling. You know, a change that for the better even, but it's sudden and it takes an adjustment. On 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Swords. That's a card of contention, fight. You know, a clash of words or a clash of beliefs or, you know, something that sent you out into the cold. Maybe both parties. It's a kind of no-win situation. I mean, there's an apparent victor in this argument or power struggle. But really, neither side, it's not a clean victory. Yeah, it's interesting because 5 and 5 is 10. 10 in Major Arcana is Wheel of Fortune. So it is like a change of fortune. There's some Bob Dylan song. Something about who once was the loser now will win, for the times they are changing. 5 speak to the need for change, or of dramatic change, as does Tower and Death, particularly Tower. But in Wheel of Fortune, it's a change for the better. I mean, we're trading in strife and conflict and being out in the cold for this. Taurus time. Tauruses, hang on to your hats. And then this third 5. $15, which in Major Arcana is Devil. You know, whatever held you back, followed by 16 in Major Arcana Tower. Whatever held you back was exploded and held you back emotionally. Maybe because of this, ill treatment or, you know, somebody was on the wrong side of a situation. And now it's changed, and you're on top and they're on the bottom. Wheel of Fortune implies that sometimes. This is struggle. Struggle to make a change. It can be interference, it can be a lot of people pushing in different directions. But in this one, there's one character kind of looking away from the kerfuffle, as if to see the change. They have an intuition that this is going to happen, that the tables are going to turn, and that all this out in the cold, being victimized or losing, boom, universe steps in and blows it up. And now we're in 10 of Cups land. And I think somebody in this group, this 5 of Wands group of people, is like, I think saying, what's happened here? What have we done? This has been such a struggle. And suddenly it's like, pop, up comes 10 of Cups. And here it looks an awful lot like 2 of Cups. It shows the 2 on the, it's like, it shows 2 people, full spectrum love. That is talk about dramatic change. On Death card, 2 of Rods, 2 of Wands. This can be a choice. Moving through the portal. And this is the Death card, but look, it looks like they're holding a wand. Death is holding a wand. It's actually the flagpole. But it kind of looks like a wand to me. It's some kind of portal that leads to something completely different, as Mighty Python was fond of saying, and now for something completely different. It was the way they'd get from one scene to the next without having to write in some kind of obvious connection. They'd just pop onto the next skit, the next scene. It's a change of scene. Can't live here anymore. All these changes, and now for something completely different, no longer in strife and struggle and lack. Suddenly we're in full spectrum connection. And it hasn't been easy, because we've come out of these really challenging energies. Change. It's like change behind us, change before, change is the constant. Change is the only oh my God. On Ace of Cups, 5 of Cups. That's a card of sadness, of mourning, of missed opportunities. The 2 of Cups is right behind. The 3 of Cups in front are spilled, and that's the focus. Emotional loss. I think that's the shakeup. There's some kind of epiphany about, I don't want to dwell in sadness. It's time to adjust the picture, or adjust the volume, or adjust what we're paying attention to emotionally. Is it this? On Tower, King of Pentacles. The one who shows up, who's dependable, who's steady, who's sometimes quite well off, Maybe, you may be coming into some coin. Having been in a place of real deprivation. Like literally no money for heat, something like that. And if you've lost some kind of battle with some group, that's all about to undergo this massive upheaval. And it's like, after the upheaval, you're steady solid as a rock. Earth energy, very grounded, very true, very real, very authentic. And maybe you were blocking some kind of idea of your own worth. Two of Swords, Two of Wands is Emperor. You've taken control somehow. Maybe after this devastating upheaval of Tower, you've rebuilt. You've got the resources. And it doesn't have to be money. It's anything that stabilizes, that makes you steadier, or, your environment is somehow more reliable. You're not living on a battlefield anymore. Five of Swords. And I think you're not so sad anymore. Five of Cups, Ace of Cups. Remember I said something about your own, some relationship, some emotion is going through a transformation, but it's a passage into something that perhaps involves self-love, like somebody may have tried to devalue you. Because Ace of Cups can speak to the self. This could be something that happened to you that made you really feel bereft. And now the opportunity for love, and particularly for self-love, has come back as a stabilizing force. Like it's made you stronger. It's galvanized you somehow. You were really put to the test. And that still may be ongoing. You may be in the midst of some kind of dramatic change. And it may have involved loss, emotional loss, financial loss. Being on the, being victimized by somebody. On Two of Swords, is it this? Is it this? On Two of Swords, Six of Cups. Card of the soulmate. This is sort of the comfort of the soulmate. Having been at a crossroads, at some sort of impasse. The soulmate returns. It doesn't necessarily mean your lover. It could be a friendship that was blocked, or a fight that you had with somebody you cared about. There may have been a time of being shut out of their life, Pentacles energy, life. Five of Pentacles, like the door was closed to you somehow. Now the door is open. It might not be with that person because there's all this change on the board. But Six of Cups does imply some sort of second round. So maybe there's a reconciliation here. Five of Cups, Six of Cups. The loss suddenly comes back around, and the connection is restored. And restored in a big way. Ten of Cups. And it may be that self-love Ace of Cups kind of gets you halfway there. There's still something missing, but it gets you halfway to the Ten of Cups. We have to grieve as long as it takes. And maybe after the grief, love is somehow renewed. Your own heart opens back up. There's that kind of change. And it may happen like this. But there is an element of rebuilding. So there's a turnaround. It may take hard work to rebuild it, to rebuild the relationship or your own self-confidence, because this can be a card of not valuing yourself. Like feeling like you were on the wrong side of something. Five of Swords usually depicts, a winner and a loser, people on a battlefield. Is there anything else? Yes, there is. Page of Pentacles. That's an offer, but it is a half. It's sort of like making an offer, a gesture, and expecting the other person to provide the other half. To meet you halfway, I'm seeing like in poker, I don't think this is about money, but it might be. In poker, somebody makes a bet and you say, I'll see you, which means, I'll match the money you've put in. Maybe that a soulmate will make an offer saying, I'm ready to kick in as much as you have. That may be new. That may be the change. Because before it might have been like somebody was stingy or they put you out in the cold somehow. Maybe after a fight. And this is a gesture of reconciliation. Page of Pentacles, King of... There's been maturation here. Somebody's grown up. Because now they're the full pentacle, the full-on, full-bore, authentic individual. They've undergone a lot of growth, Pentacles energy. A lot of change. $15, Devil. There was something... something went off the rails, or I'm getting the image of the wheels coming off, like in a relationship or something, the wheels came off. Things fell apart. On Page of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles. Well, this is somebody who's single. Usually means single, good on their own. Somebody may be making an offer to you, trying to make up for something. And this one is looking right at the Page of Pentacles person, at that offer, at that, something concrete but not very big. And the expression on this one's face is a little bit like, not wildly impressed, like I may not need that anymore. You put me through it. We fought. You put me in a competitive situation, perhaps for your love. You made me sad. You shut the door in my face. And it's not like false accusations, it's sort of just the facts. These are the facts. Okay, what does this Nine of Pentacles person have to say? And I think it's to King of Pentacles who's grown up, but caused some kind of disaster, some kind of tower moment, where there was rubble. And now they want to make it better. And it's sincere. They may have, experienced their own grief, Five of Cups, and it showed them the value. This is the true currency. This is what counts. In the end, it's what counts. That Pentacles image again, but the fight may have gone on for 5 years or just for years. And then suddenly it all changes. I keep getting this money imagery, like it changes on a dime. Is it this one? Ace of Wands. New growth, new direction, new passion. Maybe after a real falling out. Ace of Wands, Two of Wands. It's almost like the change is, passion, inspiration multiplied. Ace of Wands, Two of Wands. It's definitely turning in a new direction. I mean, suddenly the door is open. Do we want to pass through that directional aspect of Wands? Okay, I think I may have misspoken. This, since we're talking about Taurus, this might be you. You've undergone this dramatic change. I think both parties have. Both parties. And may be ready for some kind of relationship that, that went sideways, that the wheels came off. I'm seeing the pentacles, the wheels came off. The wheels came off. And now there's it's like making effort to rebuild it. It's going to be a struggle. But that Five of Wands struggle, ends up in a new beginning. A kind of with the potential for a lot of power. Is there this one more? Three of Wands. We had that in the earlier reading today, and it's a card of the future, of manifestation, of looking to the future. So we have, that's the Four of Wands. That's a card of happiness and, unity, the happy place. Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5 of Wands. This progression, things getting more and more inspired, more and more passionate, more and more kind of moving in the right direction. If the wheels came off, I think we're moving in the right direction now. Those sequential Wands energies, it's like something you can count on. Again, the money thing turns on a dime. Count on it. A relationship you can count on. Something that's stable, secure, long-term, but different. These two? Is that it? Okay. Oh, wow. We have Knight of Cups, Star card, and on the bottom of the deck, Page of Cups. That can be an apology. somebody's coming in, love on the move. Knight of Cups. To heal it. In sword energy, to heal the rift, the conflict. Five of Swords. Somebody's now tuned in. Okay. Stop. These readings just tend to do that, want to go on and on. Healing, guided to the place, both of you. It's a bit twin flamey, and look at this. Lovers. In air energy. In air energy, healing the connection. You had a fight with somebody. It blew things up. The wheels came off. But there's still, in the future, an opportunity to head toward this place of accord. Four of Wands. The healing place. Healing the relationship. I mean, Taurus time. Judgment card. Second chance, new life. New life. The apology. And it's also, again, that progression. Page of Cups, Knight of Cups. This is sort of like the little offer. And then there's really movement. There's a lot of love here. I mean, look at Ace of Cups, Five of Cups, Six of Cups, Knight of Cups, Page of Cups, Ten of Cups, Lovers, Four of Wands. Very auspicious cards. Big changes ahead. And it's not like it'll be completely smooth sailing. There's still things to work out. But I think if you accept the apology, or maybe you both need to apologize to each other. I don't know how this happened. How did we get on opposite sides or let some argument divide us? Change, change, change. Hang in there. The times, they are changing. Okay, we have Scorpio in the Death card. Scorpio again in Tower. We have Gemini in Lovers. We have Aquarius in Judgment. And that's it. Wow. Dramatic change. It looks like it. And I don't know about timing. It could be in Gemini season. It may be beginning now, and this expansive thing happening in Gemini season. And there are things to work out before the future really opens up, really opens up. But the change is underway and love is on the move. I hope this message came through loud and clear because it's really a good one. Taurus time. I love you guys. Shout out to Taurus. Earth energy. Empress energy. I'll see you next time.